Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 168. 168, yes. As per usual, if you have a question and or topic that you want an answer to, a super chat guarantees that. We reserve the right to ban annoying trolling. If it's fun, then go ahead. And other than that, let's get into it. Welcome, Henrik. How was the event?
Oh, man. I mean, I was speechless. The day when we set up, it was just beautiful. It was sunny. It was such a good day. And on the day of the event, I've been working on this event for a month. And on the event, it was raining like crazy.
That
And then
sucks.
it was raining like crazy for 30 minutes, and then it had an hour stop, and then it started raining again, and it just went on and on and on. So I was really bummed about it. And I didn't think that people would, I mean, if I was sitting in my couch looking outside the window, I would stay the F at home. But we had just a little bit less than 100 people through from the YouTube channel, so that was just crazy. People came by to say hi, and we had Origin Acoustics there. Bang and Olufsen was there. We had a company with the Lamborghini Urus and the Audi RS6. Ford came by with the Ford Mustang Mach-E. The wine guys that sponsor a case of wine for each of my BOTF and podcast was there, and they had rosés and white wine and red wine. And
So you crawled home?
My brother came by, and he got home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh shit!
It was epic. I mean,
You guys had so much to pack.
I mean, when we were done with the event, around, I mean, I think I said it was done around 15 or 1600.
Yeah.
But around 7 o'clock at night, the last people we closed down. And then I told the people that were still there, fans of the channel, that if they want to, I would definitely buy everybody a beer. Let's go to a local lounge place, and we did. So around 15 people joined us for that session, and I bought a beer for everybody. And at that point, I was totaled. I mean, I was just tired and everything. So I pulled the card that I had to go home and put Hamilton to sleep. I now have the benefit of using that. But it was, I mean, it was an epic event. It was such a cool day, and Workshop 66 was there, the guys that do these headphone stands here.
Mm-hmm.
Really like solid metal, and then some woodwork. For it's made out of reused oak, and they have this is called the Aya, AYA, and then they have a Halo, which is more expensive, but those are so freaking awesome. And we had you could win the Halo, and you could win an Explorer, a case of wine. You could win a TV calibration for your TV, and I mean, there was just a lot of things. And I launched the T-shirts, the 3 T-shirts I've made with Fat Punk Studio, and we got those out as well. And it was just all around a very, very good day.
Is your brother older or younger?
Younger.
Okay, awesome.
And a lounge was not a strip club. It's a cocktail bar where you can sit outside and just have a good time.
That sounds like good fun. I heard from some people that were there that they had a good time. So,
Oh, that's cool. It was. I mean, I was over the moon by the people who was there, and everybody was just so friendly and so happy. And I mean, everybody was just. It was a very, very good day. I loved it.
Sounds like good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad.
Even the weather, yeah, it doesn't matter.
No. Too bad I couldn't come by. Bloody hell, I wanted to go, but stuff to do.
Yeah.
Well, I guess by the end of August we should be able to travel from Canada.
I mean, it's only a
Go to
10-hour
US.
drive from here, so.
So what?
That is also a long time. But I mean, it was such a cool event. I mean, in Denmark,
Yeah,
Bang
you'd be
and
sober
Olufsen,
by the time you're back.
B&O doesn't really have these kind of events, and
I don't think they make any events really.
probably not. So
Quite
I was
honestly,
like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna be done in my way. So there's gonna be wine and beer and
Was
good
the
music.
last event the 90s?
I think the last event was the Harmony.
Yeah.
But wasn't that dealer orientated more so than
No,
or done by
it-
dealers?
No, the Harmony, because they had those 3 trolling TVs around the world, right? So they
Yeah.
did like a big thing in Paris, I believe. There was a New York deal, London.
There was a big
Yeah,
deal
they-
here in Denmark
That
as
was a
well,
big deal,
where-
but then like the 28s, they just basically launched that like it's just another generation of a speaker. That there was not really much care to give in my opinion,
Nope.
at all. Like
Nothing at all.
There's no wow factor to it unless you go and listen to him, obviously. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't think that they're suffering that bad budget wise that they couldn't afford a little launch of a product like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a very, very cool day, and you can the fun thing was that you can listen to the systems in the cars as well to figure out which sounded better. I mean, the RS6 was definitely the best, and then the Mustang and the Euros was where.
Well, at the end of the day, if you look at it, Audi has been toying with B&O since 2005, so they have more now 16 years of experience of development. So, like, even the acoustics in those cars, I'm sure that they recycle some of the filters from older vehicles, right, and just improve upon it.
Probably.
Where, like, if you like look at Urus, that was the first time that they've ever put B&O in a car, or Ford.
It sound real. It sound almost as bad as it does in my Porsche. I mean, it was really, really bad.
Wow!
It's Bose quality?
Oh no, it's worse.
Wow!
It's really, really bad. I mean, a standard.
Was there any
Mercedes
bass left
C-
or no
a
bass?
standard Mercedes C-Class sounds better.
I've seen that once in Audi that one of the technicians was telling me that the guys were complaining about the stereo system in the car, and for some reason, from factory, somebody forgot to plug in the subwoofer. And he plugged the subwoofer in, and they were like, "Holy fuck, that sounds so good!" And they had no idea, and it was an A8 as well.
Wow. But
Yeah, which
I mean,
was pretty shocking that they actually.
I was looking into all the sound parameters in the car, and it was definitely the coolest car of the 3. It sounds amazing. I mean, the exhaust
engine.
system. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, over the top, but not a great sounding music system.
Yeah, I agree. I've listened to the Fords, the F-150 B&O system. It was in it's one of my buddies has a Raptor, and it has it in there. It's decent.
I mean, it's probably the same that's in the Mustang, and I mean, it's not the best system in a car I've ever heard.
But
not,
it's
not
better
by
than what
far,
the default
but,
would have been.
but I mean, it sounds very, very good, and I actually did the audio test inside of it with a calibration microphone, and it's freaking awesome.
It's probably tuned for country music, though.
Probably.
To get that extra twang out.
That's
Yeah.
right. You can hear the banjo good.
You need to listen to somebody that lost a girl and have some heartache, and then the music will sound amazing in that car.
Yeah.
By the way, I feel everybody should publicly congratulate you on the little boss baby.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. He's a year old now.
Yeah, he turned 1 yesterday. So
I mean, he's such a Viking, he already tied his own bow tie.
yeah, yeah.
I just like that he drives an Audi, man. I
Yep.
appreciate that. I
He
appreciate that a
he
lot.
got an Audi for his 1 year birthday, so he can drive around. I mean, my family is, as you probably know, a lot into cars. We like them a lot. So my mom and dad bought him an Audi, and first they bought him an Audi, and then they called my dad back and said, "We only have it in white. You can't get it in red as you ordered. So do you want us to send it in white?" And he was just like, "No, my Audi is red. It needs to be red." So
That's funny.
he found it another place. So yep, he got a TTS, Audi TTS, with FM radio, USB, and micro SD card, and 10
What the fuck do you need all that for in there, though?
pre-installed songs. And I have a remote control for it, so I can drive him around with it.
Okay, that I understand, but what do you need a USB input for? Like, what is
So
he
you
gonna have
can
his own hard
charge your
drive?
iPhone, man.
Oh my god. Charge your phone. He doesn't have a phone yet.
You can put music on an USB as well.
That is cool.
But the coolest thing was that when I turned it on, I was like, oh, it has FM radio. And then I pushed a button, and then it scanned the whole band, and then it
Nothing.
put the stations in so you can switch between stations.
No shit.
I mean,
That is hilarious.
The software in that little car is better than what B&O performs. It just worked.
That is insane.
Yep.
So is it legit Audi? Because like you can't buy those in North America at all. Like the closest I could
It's
get
legit
to what you
Audi
have
because
is
that's
that-
the only Audi you can buy at a normal price in Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, he has a Corvette, and he was trying to get a Corvette, but you can't really get a Corvette in Europe. And then he found a Porsche, but the Porsche was around €1,000, and he thought that was a bit too much. So then he just bought my mom an Audi A3, red e-tron thing, something. And then he bought the Audi TTS for Hamilton.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do like it a lot.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, man. It's fun for you too because you can drive the little guy around, man.
Yeah. I mean, I had an epic time, and every time you turn it on, it's like vroom vroom. And he was like, when we got it was in a box and gift wrapped and everything, and he was really scared of the box, so he didn't want to unwrap it. So when we got it out and we got the car out, and then he was like, "Oh, this is exciting!"
Damn.
And then you can open the doors with little handles and stuff, and yeah,
That is funny. Things we get for our kids. Well,
Yep.
I don't have any, but I'm the same thing. Like for my nephew,
yeah,
spoil the shit out of him. Why not?
yeah. But I mean, it was fun, and it was fun for me. And you can say it has a display on it that says that it's driving in dynamic mode. And, it also
That's
has
funny.
it also has the possibility of 3 different speeds, and then it says how many volts there is left in the battery. And I mean, I
Really?
drove it all day, and it still didn't need to charge.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the charge like? Just regular, I guess, AC/DC adapter?
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, man. That is sweet.
Yeah.
What are we
So
looking
it's
at?
happy. And we had like 16 or 18 people by in my parents' garden, and the guys from Origin Acoustics delivered some speakers for the outside, and I hit all the speakers, and then there was just lounge music outside, and then people was like, "So what kind of speakers is this outside?" And I was like, "Well, this is pretty funky. this system, you have 2 speakers and a subwoofer, and Putin, he has 108 speakers and 40 subwoofers. So we only have 2. And then they were like, so can they play? And then I said, well, sure, let me show you. And I pushed the volume to 80, and it was like the whole fucking street having a party out there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So people was just like, whoa, this is crazy.
What amps were you running it off of?
Actually, just a Sonos amp.
Should be enough power if it's sensitive enough.
Yeah, it is. The outdoor speakers are really sensitive.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we had music outside and barbecue, and
Nice.
it was just a good day.
You didn't take this balance outside?
No,
Do you like this one better than the black one?
the marble one.
Yes. Or is it still sort of meh?
Where I took this picture, yes, I do like it more. But it's way too Dubai for me.
Yeah, it's too gaudy.
Yep.
I
mean, in this scene right here, where they actually got transported marble from Austria, I think, on a big lorry to Copenhagen and installed it in the showroom. I mean, then it looks killer in the right conditions.
Yeah, you gotta have right setting for it. But I
would love to have a house where this would fit in, but I mean, I have to change way too much, and my style is way more conservative than this, and this will just stand out to be like, why?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
And I don't really like when the Bang and Olufsen logo is crooked. So I would rather
Is it still
have
an
it,
issue?
like, straight.
Is it still a problem with those?
No.
Or they
I
fixed
was
it?
just fucking with you.
Well, there was an issue with it.
I do like the Belucci edition though.
Oh, dear Lord.
Have you seen the back of it? Is it stitched or not?
I haven't seen the back of it. I tried to get it to my event, the BOTF VIP Summit, but of course all the items were in Asia.
Yeah.
So they couldn't provide me with one, but they tried at least.
I'm very curious if they actually stitched it, or is it some sort of just like it's a continuous leather strip?
It should be stitched.
It has to be, in my opinion. Like, there's no logical way that
Yeah,
you could
but a
have.
beautiful stitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know,
would
I still
assume so,
don't-
but
I don't know. For me, fuck. I guess it's the same thing. Like, you have a Rolex Submariner and you have a Rolex Submariner with fucking diamonds and shit. They both tell the same time, and one is just way more expensive than the other. I'd still go with the one that is made of stainless steel. There you go. But I to each their own. Like I said, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still see the clock on a Psycho watch as well.
Yeah, I'm way too fucking hungover to get irritated over this shit today, so.
Don, that's a challenge.
No.
Speaking of something mildly infuriating, you did a test on your 28s, didn't you?
Yes.
And from what I gather from my limited Danish, you weren't all that impressed.
I mean, I did a test where they have room compensation, auto room compensation built in the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a test where I used my calibration microphone to see how well the built-in calibration works. And as I said in the beginning, before I calibrated those, my opinion was that they were way too boomy and way too crazy, way too much bass. And as I did the test of them, I could see that the bass was really, really loud on them. I mean, it was like 30 dB more than like 250 hertz. And then at 40 to 60 hertz, it was 30 dB higher than 250 dB, which is crazy. And then I did the auto calibration just to see if it works. And it actually got the response curve much more linear, and it did a good job. I was actually quite impressed because I mean the microphone is built in the speaker. I assume the microphone in the Beolab 5's is more precise than this, but I don't know.
Also,
But
the
it
microphone
actually
moves in the five.
Well, it
so
measures from 2 stages, right?
yeah.
Which this one does not.
yeah, exactly. But I mean the after calibration was actually quite good. I mean, you still have to take into consideration that you have room modes. You have like it's a living room. It's not a sound room.
Yeah.
And I mean the 50's and 90's, yes, you can do a whole lot more. And you can tweak them a lot better than you can tweak these because you can't do anything. When you're done with this, you have the goofy wheel to move your listening
Presets.
whatever around, and then you can take the bass and the treble and give it plus.
But that's
something.
only for Bio sound mode, isn't it?
Yes.
So when in Bio lab mode, they will do this, and then it's from your TV whether you add bass or not.
Yes, but I was in AirPlay mode at this time. The auto calibration will save when you're connected to a TV, but the mood wheel where you put what does it say in English? I don't know. But that will be disabled when you're connected to Visa or PowerLink.
Yeah, what does it say? It says something like active or
Active, relax,
Yeah.
warm, I believe, and some other nonsense.
like nice terms that mean
Energetic.
different things to other people.
Yeah. So I mean, you can push those things around, and I did some testing of it afterwards, and I could get it even more linear. But I mean, as I say in the video, which you probably didn't understand because it's in Danish, is that this is a very good like standard tuning, but don't get too hung up with all these kind of graphs. I mean, do use your ears to get the best out of your speakers.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks,
dear leader.
Don.
I still have to make you a new emoji since you're dear leader. I want you to have like a little Kim Jong-un next to you.
Oh, Christ. That's funny.
Yeah, no, in the end, graphs matter less than your enjoyment of the thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
of
if this
course.
line was flat, it could sound incredibly dull.
It definitely can, but sometimes that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like when I had my dedicated cinema room, I wanted as flat as possible to be able both to go to reference level, which is very, very loud, but also to get there was a lot of speakers in there, so to get them all in line. But I mean, this is not bad.
I'd
pretty
be curious once they issue out the software, if they ever do, that you can tune them, then you can plug in the external microphone. I'd be very curious to see the overlay on that graph, what it would be like when you actually tune it on the spot where you're sitting.
But I don't think you can.
Not now, but I don't know if that's going to ever be a possibility or not. Like if they'll make it.
I
is there a
don't think so.
microphone input or no? On
No.
the back of the speaker. No, so then that's just where it's at.
Unless it's RJ45.
Yeah,
Right.
but no, I don't think so.
I haven't looked in the back of the connector panel, unfortunately. On the,
Well,
on the
it's sort of in
28th.
the middle. It's not even on the back. It's weird.
I know it's in that leg, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. But when you look at the red curve on the picture right there, you can see that the midtones from
Yeah.
200 hertz and all the way up to 2K is actually pushed up, and the bass is pushed down. So it's
It brings it down later a little bit.
Yeah, and this is more or less where voices are. So mean, it sort of has that, what you call it, BBC dip?
Yeah.
Which is a thing of the past where like every loudspeaker had like a hump and a dip and then more or less flat again. I think Bowers and Wilkins still does that, and I mean, if you're not expecting it, it sounds a bit weird. But if you're watching the BBC still tunes their audio for that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but
I mean, it in a normal living room, and I didn't give him very good conditions to do the calibration. I just moved him to a new position and just pushed auto calibrate. And the funny thing about when you do the calibration of the Beolab 28 is that it says in phase, out of phase.
Yeah, the voice of God.
Yeah, it's really like, oh, who's talking?
Especially that out of phase that sounds like it's coming from above you.
Yes, out of phase.
It's so bizarre. Yeah, I think I've told this before, but when I was setting them up at my dealer walked to the back, and that started, and neither of us knew that was there. So I was like, in phase, out of phase. What the fuck is going on?
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't done the setup on them. I've listened to the 28s, of course, in the shop. They sound good to me. I don't know. They sound... Definitely, you can feel the bass and the benefit of it firing downwards. Like, they really bank off of that a lot. A lot.
Yep. But that's the same with the 5's, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
The 5's, you need to push a bit more to get that feeling compared to the 28, where you can get that feeling at volume 35-ish.
I got a good reminder yesterday that I'm not alone in a deaf pool of people with the Lab 5's. I went to a friend of mine on the service call, and this guy has 11 zones of master link. And he's got Lab 5's that he just has for the TV, and then he has Beolab 2, pair of 8000s and 2 pairs of 4000s in the ceiling on a separate active kit. So then you can just, and he fucking turns it all together, right? Because it's master link, so it's in unison. Dude, I thought I listened to music loud, man. This guy is just over the top. I'm like, Warren, I gotta go, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, but to each their own, right? I'm not the only one.
One thing that sort of goes by the by and that impresses me is that there's still quite a lot of signal at 20 hertz, which is below their spec for. I mean, it's not full force like it is at 50 or anything. But there is still at least something being pushed.
But they are at the reference level of the calibration when you look at the dB meter. So and that is actually in 20 hertz. So
nice,
which is pretty cool.
Guess we got the B&O Vancouver watching. Awesome.
Hello, Vancouver.
So I mean,
hope it's not smoky for you there.
I can't remember where it was going from and to by the spec sheets, but I mean, if you look at the curve at 20 hertz, it's pretty much up there where it should be compared to the rest of the reference curve.
I think B&O quotes him at 27 or 28 hertz.
Yeah, but that is quite true if you look at the curve. So that does.
Yeah.
It does work.
Well, the thing, I'm not sure it's a problem per se, but when people go like on the B&O website like that, right, and you go to the tech specs, and you go to sound, I bet you a lot of people think, oh, 27, it doesn't play anything below that ever. Which it sort of does.
Well, that's not true. Like, I don't know what the Lab 90s are spec'd for. I don't think they're spec'd for like 5 hertz or whatever. But I looked up a YouTube video where a dude basically starts from like subsonic level that you basically can't hear it.
1.
It was like 2 hertz and it started playing. And like, it's inaudible to you completely. But you can tell because the walls are fucking moving in the house. And it's so much bass. Like the wine glasses in my shelf started ringing, and it was at like 60 volume. And I wish that I took the grills off because I wanted to see how much the cones are moving because they would be flying at that low of a frequency.
Yeah, like slow.
The 90s is from 12-ish to 40-something, 40,000 hertz or something.
But they still played at the very, very low.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Inaudibly to you, but again, just like the spec is. But
well,
when
this
I
sort of
had
says below 12 to 43,000, because that's what that means, right?
yeah,
Like, smaller than 12. Like,
let me see if I can find when I did I did my own subwoofers. I built my own for the dedicated cinema system I had. Let me see if I can find the reference curve for that. Then you can see the sub. It was freaking crazy.
I just find it funny though. Like even after all these years, like the lap 5's at my buddy's place yesterday. Like once you start pushing them, you can start picking out where they fall apart acoustically versus like the 90s, obviously, right? That they're tuned to the room and whatnot. But it is insane how much accurate the 90s are over time when you just get used to it and you go somewhere in the environment where they do have a flagship speaker, but it's the flagship of yesteryears. It's insane how much difference it makes.
I mean, this is the 50s. It says 15 and below to the same height. I mean, I've tried playing 15 and 10 hertz, and it'll just play, and like what Willie said, everything will just move. Like if you set it at like 40, 45, you don't hear anything. But if you set it to like volume 50, you still don't hear anything other than everything fucking rattles.
You can see stuff going around. Everything in the kitchen starts to walk. So I definitely, I believe that they can go as low as you play to them. Obviously, they can go to negative.
Yeah.
But
like all of a sudden you're like in an anechoic chamber.
It's sucking the thoughts out of my head. What the hell? Yeah, they definitely will. The 90s and 50s will not suck the thoughts, but it'll beat the thoughts out of your head. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean even the small baby brother with a bass capability of 116 dB. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in most other brands, that is the bloody flagship.
Yeah. And the problem with that is that you still have to buy amps for them and all that nonsense.
This is what I don't get when people still add subwoofers to 50s. Like, was this last Monday I showed you where this guy had 50s and then two 16-inch drivers? No, sorry, two 16-inch drivers either side of them.
Why? Sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's too much. I don't know how that would even sound right to your ears then.
Well, you're making it a four-way speaker, more or less.
Because you can't really tune for that, because they're not talking to the other bullshit, right? So it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
Unless you tweak around in the TV, because I think it was with an Eclipse or something, and you set the crossovers at certain levels.
I guess you could do it that way in bass redirect. I guess you could redirect 100% to each.
But then again, do you care to hear like 5 hertz? Or feel, I guess? Most of the time.
But what is mixed in that low? Like, honestly, what movies are going that low?
Yeah, even music doesn't really go that low.
If you check the link I just sent you in the chat, then you can see that when I did, if you can see the reference curve on my subwoofer on that page, and we got
Jesus Christ, that's some wire for a speaker. That's thick.
75 dB at 7 hertz on these subwoofers, which was like on the other side of the road. They could feel it. If you go down, then you can see the reference curve. And if you go a few pages back, you can see how I built them. But it was more to see. It's 18 inches. 15 inches. Daytona, Dayton audio speakers. And we built 2 of them to to my dedicated cinema, and the reference curve on that is just absolutely amazing. I mean, it was crazy.
What link are you guys looking for, Vancouver store?
The one Henrik just here, I'll put it in the chat. So
Okay.
Yeah, but it's on the stream.
Yeah, okay, but it's nothing private because it's in a public forum.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
they will
sure.
never be able to find it because it's all in Danish.
Oh god.
Yeah,
like I
but-
don't know even what to put into Google to get to this page.
But I mean, if you look at that reference curve,
That's
it took me almost a week of tuning to get that reference curve. But I mean, that is crazy.
I can see it's Copenhagen something.
And you can see that it starts at 7 hertz
Yeah.
in the bottom, which is like, that is like very, very deep. I mean, you'll go to the toilet when we played movies in there.
Yeah, that's low. But then again,
Were you
what
shooting for
is-
7, or would you have been okay if the thing was the same but just a few hertz over to the right?
When I was done calibrating them, I set the roll off at 20 hertz because 7 hertz, first of all, I couldn't hear it, but the people on the other side of the road, their cabinets with glass could hear it. So, I mean, it didn't make any sense, and I still live in an apartment on the 3rd floor. So
I wonder what the sinus peak wave of 5 hertz is, because 20 hertz curve or sine wave is 8.26 meters out.
yeah,
So like if you go to 5 hertz, like you're sending that so far down range to people that you can't
It's-
even hear.
it is on the other side of the road, and it's
Yeah.
on those cabinets with the glasses on the other side of the road. So I did a roll off. I had an active DSP in it, so I connected my computer up to it and did a roll off. I think at 25 hertz or 20 something around there. But look at the flatness as well on that curve. And the whole cinema was like this. I think if you take page 1. Then you can see my reference curve on my left, center, right on that side as well. And those are like, it's not Beolab 28 thing. It's like, this is way more professional. It's a bit
Also,
further down.
subwoofers that size in a room this size, like holy hell.
Yeah, it was crazy. And on top
Yeah,
of
but
that,
that is
there
a
was
very
4
specific
speakers in the
purpose-built
ceiling.
room. Yeah, this is a very specific purpose-built room, though. Like
Yeah.
this is a theater room only.
Yes.
Like that's not something that you daily sit in and live in. Like you
No,
go
no,
there
no,
to
no.
watch a movie and you leave.
But the thing was that
Heidi
I
sits
had,
there watching Love Island or whatever.
Oh God!
and it was the screen was 21:9, so it was CinemaScope.
Hmm.
And you could mask it out, so it will do 16:9 as well.
Crazy decor.
Yeah. It's called Green Atmos Cinema.
Word.
Bloody hell, these things are massive.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. That's a
And
lot.
that was the 1 amp that drove it drove 8 of the speakers. And then I had another amp by 3,000 watts to drive the 2 subwoofers. And then left, center, right was active speakers.
So, how much power were these sucking? Like at least 600 watts, probably, right?
Every explosion, the neighbor's lights did.
I don't know. It was way too much. But if you go a bit further down, then you can see the reference curve on left, center, right. And I did the Harman JBL curve. So not that one, that's the sub. After I did the tweak where I did the roll off at 25 hertz. So now you can actually see how it rolls off. But there you have the left, center, right, which is bloody crazy as well. And I like the Harman JBL curve, which is plus 5-6 dB from 20 hertz and all the way up to 120, 150 hertz. and then you have like the slow going down.
Yeah, they're basically exactly equal as well.
Yes, it took a lot of time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's harder to do than it looks.
Oh, the whole cinema when it was done, the tweaking of the speakers took like a month.
Jesus
And then
Lord.
underneath the floor, there is an acoustic membrane from Austria, no, from Australia. So it is actually floating on top of the floor. So the bass wouldn't be
Go
that
down.
crazy, but it was still crazy.
Yeah, there's not much you can do to stop it at
No.
a certain level.
But that is nerdy level 0.100 or something.
So that's a balcony behind it?
Yes, and then it was on hinges, so you can take the screen out and put it on the floor on the side, and then you can go to the balcony and use it as a normal room.
And then
And
if you're
just sit
drunk,
there
you
and
walk
listen
in
to
and
music.
kick your shin into a subwoofer.
And break your toes over that damn thing, Jesus Lord.
What made you
vicious.
decide to go with two subwoofers? Literally spread, or just fuck it because I can?
No, it's much easier to calibrate two subwoofers than one.
Hmm.
I mean, I still only had two chairs in there, so I could go with one subwoofer, but when you calibrate subwoofers, it's much easier just to choose two to start out with. And then you can actually, it's much easier to calibrate.
That balcony is the size of a shower stall here.
Yep.
So small. What's this? Oh yeah, that's. I'm like, what are we looking at next to the screen? Insane.
I like your movie choice with this. Like you build all of that thing. You watch Ted 2. What is it, Ted 1?
I can't remember, but that was when I only had one subwoofer on the side.
Hmm.
And then I was like, the prices of the subwoofers I was looking at was around 3,000 euros a piece. And then I thought, let's try to build one myself. I used to build a lot of speakers myself anyways. So I called this company in Ohio called Dayton Audio, and they shipped me these units back. And I mean, a lot of people bought these units after I did this, because this is a Danish forum for hi-fi enthusiasts and cinema enthusiasts. And when they saw that type of reference curve out of the box, they was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And the prices was really, really, really nice.
I mean, I do like. Was this though the part where you sort of thought, B&O seems not super expensive for what you get?
Well, it's still it is expensive to build a cinema. Of course it is. But the thing was that it also takes a lot of room. It's not very. It doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was taking myself like sitting in the sofa and just, oh, let's watch a movie. And we, after a while, we didn't even go into the cinema to watch the movie. And then sometimes it was just like, oh, it's also very, very loud when we watch a movie, because it was set to a specific level, so I knew that every time I watch a movie, it was at the right level and stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I also take it that speakers this large need some juice, just like the issue with 5's versus 28. You need to have them at like 50% volume to.
Yes.
You gotta get them going. Yeah, like there's no soft listening in this room, in my opinion.
But I did like that I had a room to go in specific and just to listen to music. That was very, very good. Also, because then my wife is in the living room, and why do you want to listen to that stupid music? And can't you go away and move out? Whatever.
Move out. Well, if this
There you
YouTube
go.
thing takes off, maybe you should get a studio somewhere that's not at home, and then you can
Yeah.
do whatever.
But I used to have a studio, and I used to produce a lot of music. So the left, center, right channel was Mackie HR 824 Mark II speakers, which is my absolute favorite music speaker. I haven't found a speaker that I think sounds that good since then. It's very, very good speaker. But it's a near field speaker.
Yeah, it's meant to sit on your desk, like.
Yeah, exactly.
They're basically monitors.
Yeah.
That's good.
You had a lot of iterations, or is it me with this room?
A lot of what?
Iterations, different like changes of speakers and things.
Oh yeah. It's called dynamic, Mikey.
What is those?
I don't know
what are
that.
those
I buy
speakers?
speakers and I keep them forever. The only thing that changes is the small stuff in the back.
Yeah, but I changed a lot in that room. Different speakers, test setup, whatever. The projector was the same projector all time, I think. It was no, it was the JVC HD 350 first, and then it was an X9 afterwards, I think. Bang and Olufsen used to actually sell JVC projectors when they did cinema systems for customers.
That's
Well,
like
they
back
were
in the
the best.
Biosystem 1 days, for God's sakes.
Probably.
What was that other Danish brand of projectors that they had specified here?
Epson?
there was a-
Sigma?
Sigma or something like that. It wasn't the
Yeah.
Epsons. No. It was some weird name. And they were unbelievably expensive.
Yeah. That's why they went with JVC after that. The JVC projectors was when Biosystem 4, I think. 3 or 4. Before that, it was the very, very expensive brand they used. But I mean, the JVC projectors is not cheap either. I think
No.
I think the projector I had there was around 5,000 or 6,000 euros.
This needs to go into Alphonse's room, the picture. I love that painting.
Alphonse.
Sorry, Hamilton.
It is
Why?
actually it is his room now.
It is his room. Did you
Uh,
keep the speakers in there?
Nope.
One
That's
of the
where the Lab
subwoofers, the
5000s are, aren't
bassinet
they?
now?
He has the 5,000s and Essence Mark II.
Yeah, put some Magritte in there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like that artist a lot.
Yeah, it's Heidi's painting. She loves it. It's like, have you seen The Crown Affair?
Yeah, of course.
Epic movie.
Yeah, if you're ever bored, Willie, go watch a Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah.
For anybody
I
else
like
watching as well, if you're ever bored, Thomas Crown Affair, still a good movie.
It is an epic movie.
And if you want to throw your Netflix remote at the screen, look at Bruce Willis's Cosmic Sin on Netflix. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wish I could get that hour and a half back of my life. It was unbelievably awful movie. I honestly don't. I can't believe that they actually got Bruce Willis to do this. He must have been high as shit when he signed that contract, because he's like, there's no way you would do it with a clear head. It was
Haven't
terrible.
seen it. I'm watching
don't,
Winnie the Pooh
don't.
at the moment.
You're watching what? Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that movie was just terrible.
What the hell is this? It looks terrible.
Yeah, they got these weird whatevers. It's so dumb that I forgot what the fuck the thing was about. It was some sort of a alien invasion of some sort. It was so awful, dude. Like the whole movie was produced on like 3 different stages. Like it literally was backyard productions. Terrible movie.
It looks like the cover picture is something from Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
much
but no.
worse. The B version.
But the pictures actually on the movie look cooler than the entire movie. It was absolutely terrible. Terrible movie.
It sort of looks like they're playing laser tag or something.
That like it was even mixed. Like the sound was terrible.
Maybe I
Yeah,
should
you're
watch
right.
this
Sunday
movie
Bruce
and
checked out
then
many years ago, and
and then
this is
next
just
week I would say something that it's a very good movie, and let's talk more about Bellucci products.
Don, you can make Willie watch terrible movies. Get your suggestions.
yeah, that's right. Not doing it. Not doing it. Ugh, God.
But coming back to 28s and cinema and that sort of thing, are you still happy with the 28s compared to 5s? Or do you miss your 5s?
The thing is, I still haven't A/B tested the 28s with the 5s. I will do that next week.
But that's not a fair competition, though, or test, really.
There is another thing, and that is something that I say stated in the video I did, and that is that right now I have a small round thing with a lot of balls in it that Hamilton jumps around in. So right now I don't even have the room for 5s in the living room anymore. So either he has to go or the 5s has to go. So I have to talk with Heidi about that.
See how that works for you.
Sandeep says no 50s for Henrik.
Then I would go 90s.
Yeah.
Word.
I mean, it is the step up.
Yeah. I don't think that I would get 50s instead of the 5s. I could get the 28s instead of the 5s, I think. That is a possibility. I mean, they perform very well in my living room, and for my use, they are really, really good. And, but, I don't know. I don't know yet.
May I commend you on having the 12s the right side up? The only way they're supposed to be hung.
Well, there's no way you could have them the other way down. They're on floor stands.
You could wall mount them.
Well, I could have. Then I would have put them upside down.
Yeah. But it's a pet peeve of mine. These should be tweeter side up.
No.
Yes. Only.
I agree with Henrik.
They are on the wall, and they look amazing where they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tweeter side up is great.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
okay.
change it.
I agree.
Don't put them tweeter side down. I hate that look.
I mean, if you should use the 12s as background music speakers, yes, then I would put the tweeter down, because then I would mount them higher. But if you use them as surround speakers, they need to be somewhat 10 to 15 centimeters over your ear level. So it would look crazy just to put it on the middle of the wall to get the tweeter where I want it to be.
Yeah, they're 12 3s, right?
Yes.
Still like those as well?
Can't complain.
I mean, to me, they're one of the most beautiful speakers B&O's ever produced, really.
I have tried to map out two shapes instead of the 12 3s, but I can't really get the tiles to work where the 12 3s are, and I'm the only one that sees the 12 3s. My wife doesn't see them. They're like blending into the wall, and I just love the looks of the 12 3s. I think
they're understated speaker.
It is one of the best looking speakers in my opinion.
Yeah, it's peak B&O.
It is crazy good looking. And Hamilton is looking at him now as well, because he can see himself in it.
He's like, now I'm skinny, now I'm big.
Tweeter,
Now I'm skinny, now I'm big.
Now I'm skinny, now I'm fat.
Push on the tweeter.
I mean,
But there's cork in the tweeter, so that's fine. You'll be fine if he decides to.
He can't reach up there.
Not yet.
Nope.
Kids grow, buddy. And curiosity grows with them. Curiosity outgrows the kids. Yeah, I like that they put the cork back in the tweeters, so you don't have...
Tim, a bunch of letters, Tim on Twitch asked, Henrik, how do the 12 3s play together with the 28s?
Something happened when Bang and Olufsen did the 50s. They retuned the speakers somehow, so they sound a bit different than all the other speakers. The sound of the 12s, in my opinion, is much more direct compared to the sound of the 50s, 28, not the 90s, because the 90s is just linear as fuck.
Yeah.
But they retuned something in the speakers when they did the 50s and the 28. It has some warm. It sounds more warm than all the other speakers does. If you take the ones, for example, Beolab ones, they are very direct.
I love me some ones.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Prestige. I never replied to your Instagram request, but I don't think I want to sell my ones yet.
I mean,
But,
after all, the thumbnail is ones. I love ones.
But
I'm not selling them.
they sound. The 28 sounds more warm than the 12 does, if that makes any sense.
They do. I would say they do. From what I remember, what the 12 sound like.
But I mean, with the 5's, and I mean, it's still a surround speaker. It does a good job. It does a really, really good job. And they're a bargain right now at the prices they're at. I think it's like maybe 1,400 euros or so. 1,500 euros.
In North America, they're still over $3,500.
Probably.
It's insane.
In
We should start an import business. We ship
Denmark,
everything to Willy, and Willy
12
puts in power supplies, and we split the profit.
I think in Denmark it's 12,000, so that's 1,600 euros.
Yeah, here it's between like 1,200 and 1,500 or so.
Still a good speaker.
Yeah.
I would never use him as a left or right speaker. They doesn't perform what I would like
as a
to.
center channel.
But I as surround speakers, they're epic. So
I like the sound of the ones. I really do.
I do too. They're direct.
They're definitely crazy clean, but yeah, I like them a lot.
The ones have in my opinion, the same sound as the 5's. They just don't have the punch.
Yeah. Well, they are quite a lot more shrill up top, or clinical. The 5's tend to go a bit warm.
Yeah. Yeah, on the side of the 50s and the 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The twin lap 4000s as a center channel do look good. They are my absolute worst pet peeve to install.
To get them
like super clean, right? Because obviously, like, aluminium needs to match, and even a mill off, it does the continuation line doesn't match anymore, and it's just I absolutely despised him mounting those things. Fuck.
Oh, this was the car previous to the big car that my niece got.
Oh,
but this is my sister's place. She has 12 3s and 2 and a 7.2, and then 12 2s in the rear. And actually, for a system like that, it still actually sounds quite good. I still don't know why they hung them that high behind here, but whatever.
I mean, if they sit on a couch, it doesn't make any sense. Then they should be moved around, definitely.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, they're going to move shortly anyway. So the next time I'm going to go there and actually help out with the whole thing.
and get them some white loom instead of the black stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the first things I said too. It's like, why did you choose for black? Well, it looked nice. It's like, oh, god damn it.
No, it doesn't, man. No, it does not look good at all.
I mean, it actually sounds very good, but it's partially because there's a lap 2 in the mix. So
yeah.
Like
that's exactly a theater system that I had sold years and years ago. 12 3s at the front, 12 2s at the back, lap 2, and that was a 7.4 instead of a 7.2. And it's awesome.
Yeah, they were
really
initially
nice.
looking at a 7.4 as well, but with how they had this set up and they weren't living here permanently, they didn't want to move this anywhere else because this thing is like solid oak, this cabinet. So this
it's heavier than hell.
cabinet is like 180 kilos or something.
Jesus Christ, what's in it?
When it's 180 kilos empty. Because it's literally like an inch and a half oak, everything. Doors, planks inside, everything.
What do they use that as a freaking panic room or like?
I don't know, but it's a pain in the ass to move, and it takes like 4 people to move. And
I'd rather move an Avant than this shit. Then
yeah, like even if it helps a bit if you take the drawers out, because the drawers are like 10 kilos a drawer.
Jesus,
that
is not IKEA.
No. Like you can kick this all you want, but you'll end up with a broken shin, and like the cabinet is fine. It's actually to the point where the wood is so thick that it's stronger than the hinges and stuff like that. And the hinges are metal.
But the speakers does look good. They just should have been upside down.
The only argument you can make is for the rear ones to be upside down. But I hate that look personally. And
I'm not into it either.
And so did my sister. Then again,
if it was me, I would take the 12.3s and put them down on the floor, besides the cabinet.
I don't like the 12.3s on the floor stands, though. I absolutely despise them. They look so bad.
Yep, agreed. They need to be on the wall.
Yeah. That floor stand idea was a complete afterthought, because I remember when they first came out, the floor stands weren't even available. And then some goof in Denmark decided, no, we're going to make floor stands for him. And they looked like utter shit. And there was 2 heights to them, right? Because you can get the 12.2s or 12.3s. And if you mount the 12.3s on a 12.2 stands, then you got the post that is like high up, like that was on the picture prior was shown. I never liked the look of it. Plus the bass drivers in the back are exposed, and you have to get that, makeshift the metal curtain that they have, the little mesh wall.
Are they using a Elmando or a Beo System 3 or something?
Yeah, Elmando box. Okay. And that's partially why I had to set it up, because I think the people that installed it set it up sort of okay, but then said, here, you can do this, that, and the other. And then my sister is a modern parent where her daughter is like, I want the phone. And all of a sudden she was like, why does it sound so shit? And I'm like, how do you mean? And she's like, well, it seems to only come from under the TV. It's just like, that's odd. What did you do? Nothing.
But the daughter did.
What did anybody else do? Nothing. It's like, okay, so I got there, right? And you can set a large speaker, 3-way speaker, that sort of thing, subwoofer, and you can tune all that. And what was it? This 12.3 was set at minus 10 dB. This one was set at minus 12. The subwoofer wasn't on at all. These were also set to 0 meters distance, and this one
your
was...
niece just fucked around in the app, I guess, eh?
Something like that. This was set to plus 8 dB, and at 3.5 meters, which is like in the middle of the room somewhere.
Nice.
And the rear speakers were set as small satellites or something like that.
So how do you set this up? Do you do it on screen or through the app?
Through the app.
Through the app.
Okay, so I see where that went. Hey, Brian, I can totally see where that gone. Because if the girl started playing with it and she doesn't know what the fuck she's pushing.
No, so fortunately, they had one of those laser measure things. So I had to basically told her, like, sit where you always sit, and then I start measuring from there and set it all correctly, and you set all the settings correctly.
It seems like that your niece has set it up like a local Bang and Olufsen dealer. She can get a job there.
Oh, God.
Maybe.
Last time I was at... something is crazy with your picture.
I know. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
I don't know. Last time I was at a local dealer, I watched Harmony, and I was just taking the remote and saw that the picture was in vivid mode or something, eco vivid crazy, and then it had some speakers to it, and I was just checking the setup, and the setup was just like they never touched anything. So I was like, how do you demo this? And they were like, well, we just put on a movie and crank up the volume. Okay.
I mean, like your other systems, this also was quite a bit of fiddling, and I had my phone out to measure, and I mean the dB meter and that sort of thing is only for relative to other, but to me, actually, to my ears, the weakest part in the system is the 7.2, because it is quite muffled for a center speaker. I would have preferred if they had a 7.4 there, compared to like 12s. I mean, it's not bad or anything. It's just weird that relative in performance, the 7.2 has quite a lot of bass. Also, it doesn't have a lot of space, as you can see, with the setup to breathe.
But the bass is firing down, right?
Yeah.
So is it on stands or what?
Yeah, it's on stands. It's either, I forget now, if it's on stands or wall hung on the back. But, I mean, I would have preferred...
If it's a wall hung, that's a nice job, because it's like super,
yeah,
on the spot.
Yeah, it's not a BeoVision. That's why they had the Amando box. But I think actually this setup has made her realize, like, I'm going to use this TV for another year and then I'm going to get a BeoVision as well. Because it's some bullshit to have like two remotes and no puck tables. And initially it was like, but they're so expensive. And it's like, yeah, but like everything fucking works.
Yeah, it just works. One remote, everything works.
I love that. It's so funny when people just don't understand. I like when people come over and they're just blown away by the fact, like, what do you mean? Like, you just like, yeah, just control everything with one remote down to the freaking air conditioning. It's cool. I like it like that. I wouldn't trade this for any other system, quite honestly. I would never own a Control 4 in my life to control my system with, or to like tie in all this shit together. No way, Jose. But
I mean, actually, the thing was, I was looking at buying all these 12s, and then she came back to me and was like, I bought them all. And I was like, God damn it. On the other hand, I was semi-happy that at least I couldn't ponder buying these anymore, so the choice was gone.
Give me your thoughts. What for next week? What? Queen of the Outer Space? These movies definitely sound like something that I'm going to slit my wrists over.
Queen of the Outer Space, Zsa Zsa Gabor.
I'm going to look some of this up, man, because I'm curious now. Oh, Christ. That's like 1958, dude. That movie's come from. Holy cow.
It's probably free on Plex.
I can watch it on YouTube for $5. No, thank you. Yeah, I'll look into the trailer of it, but that looks definitely as awful as I had imagined.
Geomir has a question. I don't think you've ever said it as such,
no.
But does Hendrix think the 4x28s are better than 250s and 18s?
I just wrote in the chat that I never said that. So
yeah, it depends on what you're doing. If you,
I would any day I would get 250s and 218s compared to 428s.
Yep.
All day. I never said anything else.
Even if you are basically only doing movies?
Yes.
I agree with you on that.
Because we had this question before with... let me see if I can find the picture still somewhere.
Tigers, do you have, like, that's from Twitch, he has Control 4. I honestly, personally despise Control 4. I've been around it for years. I've seen people that had Control 4 and threw it out because it's just, I've never had a good experience with it, and one thing that I also found out when we were doing a job that we had to control for anyways in there. And on a plus side, it does talk to the B&O system, or at least the network link product, so that's good. But I don't like the fact that you have to be connected online and you cannot directly program the software into the goddamn system, but it has to be all managed through the outside server, which is, I think, in States. And when we were out in buttfuck nowhere in Lloydminster trying to get the system programmed in the hotel room, because after the, you don't have to sit there for it, he couldn't log into the thing because the server was site was shut down for maintenance. And you're hooped.
Yeah, I hate stuff where you need to dial out to do your stuff locally. Yeah,
no, I do not. I just don't like it. I've never had a good experience with it.
Yeah.
And
what Geomir is referring to is this is more or less the setup of his new place. This is a 77-inch Harmony. This cabinet is going to be there.
Yeah.
And
hey, Steve. I have to talk to you. I have to talk to you, Steve, later. I got some cable requirements.
Actually, clarification from last time we spoke about this picture. There is a piano on this side of the door.
Is he burning that cabinet on the side or no?
No. I mean, this is why I would say and I asked him, since he mostly does stuff with surround, aka Xbox, movies, and even when I asked what kind of music do you like and how do you listen to it, the answer was a DVD of a concert. Which is
why don't you move the 50s to the other side of the entrance and then move the TV?
A piano is going to be here.
Come again?
On the right side of the entrance is where a piano is going to be.
It's one of those upright ones, I guess.
No, like a quite normal, like what you call those, like one of those bar pianos.
Okay.
Like the upright standing one, right?
Yeah.
That goes up against the wall.
And so this is then, it'll probably take a second. So this is then the look with 28s and then piano here, door closed. And he asked his dealer to set it up like it would be. And it would be 77-inch Harmony, roughly 50s would be that close.
I mean, in my opinion, the picture that we looked at right now with the 50s that close to the Harmony, I really don't like it.
No.
I think it looks stupid.
It's too crammed.
I would rather just use the left, center, right in the Harmony and ditch the speakers. But that's my opinion.
This is where I came with, like, for this space and this particular reason, and since you do basically everything in surround sound, I would go with 428 over 50s 18s. Because especially if the left 50 you see here has like a cabinet right there, it can't bloody breathe.
I would go for 428 as well.
I don't think the 50s will. It just looks too crammed. It's not even busy. It's just too crammed. It's almost like it's stored.
If the cabinet is there, and you will get a piano on the right side, I would go for the 28s all day.
Yeah, so that was my, like, normally I was like, if you have a living room like mine with like a bunch of space left and right, go 50s all day long. But if you basically have no breathing space next to 50s,
it looks way too cramped.
Yeah.
Like for showroom, I can understand because you get limited space to display your things, but in a house, I think it's just way too tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you have like 90 centimeters is a normal door opening from the right speaker, but then there's a piano.
I would ditch the speakers altogether, get the Harmony with a subwoofer on the side of it, and that's the end. And put 18s in the back, I guess.
Well,
I would too. I would get a lap 19 for the Harmony, use left, center, right in the Harmony, and then I'll get maybe a pair of 18 or a pair of 28s for the back as surround speakers.
That's what I would do. Like, and it would look sweet. It would still sound great. I don't think that the stereo separation from having Harmony and speakers basically standing on top of it is not going to give you a better left and right. Obviously, like with the 50s, yeah, you get better room compensation and all that jazz. But at the end of the day, like that's way too tight, man.
If you listen to music, then it makes sense to put left, right speakers in. But if it's for surround sound, I would just ditch the front speakers. Use the harmony. It's more than capable of providing a good sound stage, and then add some surround speakers.
They're also into like I guess you would say dinner parties where like there's a bunch of people around and walk around with food and family and friends, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's basically where you're not ever. It's ambient, loud music. So, I mean, and if you want,
I would just go for the harmony.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I like when Willie is hungover.
He's very mellow.
He just agrees with everything.
Today I agree with everything, man. I don't have any power to argue. So, yeah.
Berluti is the best idea.
Yeah.
No.
Change my mind.
That's still not. I didn't change my mind on Berluti. I still don't like the fact that it's so stupidly expensive, but to each their own. Again, like I said, analogy with the watches you can buy. They both tell you the same time, but one has more diamonds than the other. So that's it. But I don't regret my hangover, dude. That was I'm so happy I found a bourbon bar. I'm so happy because we didn't have anything like it here for a long time.
GMS says, even if I ditch the cabinet, the door on the right would need to move. Not like, even if you were to keep this, I think I said this last time. You can, like, if you wall mount this on the ceiling or whatever, you have stuff, like, put some light in here, and you have stuff to display stuff on, and you can still put all your boxes in the top, surely. Like, if it's a solid wood cabinet.
Or just get a set of 12 threes and mount one on the door, so when you close the door...
Oh. I mean, personally, I would still say for like if you also like 428, that's why I said 428s, especially if you want more speakers. Yes, the harmony is quite good, but I mean 428 with the amount of stuff you do that is mixed in surround. That's where I'm coming from. Like, I mean, in the end, there's no real wrong or right.
If you want a wider sound stage, why not go for, I mean, if you use it for surround only, and now I'm going against everything I used to say, but why not take a pair of 17s and mount them in the ceiling and on each side?
Yeah, that could also work.
And then just make sure that you take the right distance. You could take the 117 and put it all the way to the right corner, and 117 by the cabinet, and then just make sure that you measure the length between daddy's chair, your ears, to the speaker, so it will move the center stage to the middle.
It's funny, yeah. The 50s and 90s will get in your head, dude.
Yeah,
but that's
I was
the
just
first
reading
mistake
that.
You've done.
It's like we all had that.
That's
you think you got your plan, 18s and 19, and you're just like, yes, and then you hear 50s or 90s, and you're like, damn.
Fuck. Now everything sucks. My life sucks. Yeah, it's really hard, especially like even when I was in Vancouver shop, it's really hard to get your head out of the space of 90s and like be a fair judgmental about like any like even 28s when I was listening to him, right? Because you always look for that it's never gonna be there, and 90s, as good as they are, they're the worst speaker you can buy for yourself because it'll just ruin everything around you. Absolutely everything around you.
Yeah.
And I see it on people when they come to the place, like when they come over and shit, and people that actually enjoy music, they really get fucked up about the sound.
Don't get me wrong, I love 18s. I have them here, and I would never pass with them. Like, I would, if I were to decide, like, my love of ones is winning me over, and I need a set of ones in my setup again, like, I'll find another use for them or ditch the threes. I love 18s more than threes.
So maybe we have gone through this, and I'm just a bit slow, but
You're also hungover. Too
kind
much
of.
buttermilk last night.
If if you should get the 50s, which is the best option here, you
Oh,
should
yes.
definitely ditch that stupid cabinet.
Yeah.
Get it out of there.
That's what I think Willie, I, and Eric also said last time, but apparently
Okay.
that's basically a hard no, it seems. I mean, that was my advice as well. Like, if you're gonna have to keep the cabinet, then 50s are, like, especially your left 50 in the picture, that has so little air to breathe.
Yeah, it's
Not to mention, it to get a good left and right, it's pointing straight forward, meaning the bass driver on the side is firing directly into the one on the right.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. The 50s doesn't make any sense in this option. Move the cabinet. Buy the 50s, or keep the cabinet because the wife tells you to keep it, and then get 28s or 18s
Yeah.
or 17s in the ceiling.
What do people do to store things when they get Harmony? Okay, well, what do you have as far as the sources are concerned, first of all? Second of all, you could just get away with the murder and if you want to do either an HDMI matrix, but I don't think that you would. If you are watching Blu-rays and DVDs, then just get a HDMI extender to the back of the Harmony and put the damn thing somewhere where you don't have to look at it. And Bob's your uncle, man. You don't have to have any of that product inside other than like maybe tuck in an Apple TV because that's small enough to go inside the crevice of the television. But, you know, like I have everything in this cabinet, which there's really nothing in here much anymore. But my TV and Avant is in the other room.
Or like I said, have the cabinet here, like in the top above the TV somewhere. Like maybe
I
not...
would put floating shelves instead of the cabinet. I would have just taken that thing
or
right
that
out.
like.
And then you can get away with way more.
I'm not saying buy IKEA, but you know IKEA has that wall mount system, right? Something similar to that. That fits a heck of a lot of stuff. You can also wire stuff directly down behind the TV, so you'll never see it.
Yeah,
if
would.
50s are in your head,
cabinet.
you're gonna have a hard time getting them out of your head. That's gonna take you like 3 to 6 months or so.
It'll be easier for you to get rid of the cabinet than get rid of the 50s thought.
Yes.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you already fucked yourself up with the 50s, dude, then you're too far gone now.
STB brackets is how people usually do their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have that mounting system for the Harmony. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Even like Steve says, even if you lost half the cabinet, it would still... I think that it would look way too weird, but it would still buy you quite a bit more room.
You can buy a pair of 5's and mount them in the ceiling.
Oh. I'm waiting for somebody to do that with the 50s. I don't know how, but I'm sure.
I mean, I don't like advising against 50s, even when my pair was shit in the beginning, because that seemed to be mostly my pair and maybe a handful of others, and like 1,000 others were perfect, and nobody ever had an issue.
How big is the room?
About 5 by 6.5 or so.
I would go for 28s.
Go for 50s, ditch the cabinet, bro. Let's do a poll on this.
I mean, depending on how many sources you have, like you can mount 2 or 3 of these STB holders behind your TV.
Yeah, and you're not gonna look behind the Harmony because behind the Harmony, it doesn't look good. It's not attractive anyway. TV.
Well, that TV was never meant to be looked at from the other side because it's supposed to be up against the wall.
It's not
like Avant where it.
It's not a true Bang and Olufsen TV.
Well, but in the same token, like, you know, you look at the BeoVision 4s, they're also, you know, you couldn't tell them that they're true B&O TVs because they were only wall hung, right? Like, yeah, the BeoVision 450 came with the floors, or I mean, table mount, but it looked like utter shit from the other side.
But all Bang & Olufsen TVs looks good from behind. I mean, they're clean, but their Harmony isn't. And the Eclipse is kind of stupid too with that mount of the cabling.
The tail coming out of it.
Yeah. I mean, if your room is 6 by 5 meters and you need that cabinet to be there, and you want speakers, I would go for the Beolab 28. Otherwise, I would just go for a pair of Beolab 28 for surround speakers, keep the harmony as is, and use it for left, center, right. That's it. If you can ditch the cabinet and get a divorce, get the 50s.
There's a sound advice.
Also,
it's definitely not the cheapest way.
no.
It's doable.
Bloody hell. STB brackets, if you're listening, your website sometimes is a bit weird. Also, if you want to do it another way, ask STB, depending on what color your wall is, to make this plate they sell wall color. Then you can more or less do whatever behind your TV for sources, and you won't ever see them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly thought of this plate that they sell, like you get some double-sided tape and you can slap your Apple TV on the back and nobody will ever know.
Sure.
Plus it's an open air. I mean, I understand people hide it in the cover on the back, but I kind of think to myself, especially with the Apple TV 4K, that gets quite toasty. It needs some airflow at the very least.
But it's got a fan in it, dude. I have my Apple TV inside the back of the Avant. And, well, I do have a fan inside the Avant to make sure that I don't fry my frickin' video board. Speaking of video boards, I just got an email last week, or well, this week, from a lady that I had hung a 75-inch Avant back in 2015. It was one of my first sales as a pro partner, and her display is dead.
Oh.
It's all pink. I'm like, fuck. And this thing is hanging on a granite wall. Yeah, dude, it is like inside a fireplace. Like that job, I seriously, when I measured it all out and I did the drawings and all this
North
shit.
Americans, that is why you do not hang it over fireplaces. It kills your electronics.
Well, no. That fireplace was like, it was specifically vented and all this shit.
Sure,
it was
but
actually
I bet you
so
it's
heavy
still
that there
warmer.
was a dip in the floor. It definitely is.
Yes.
But the problem is with the 75 and 85 and 55, that's an unknown problem. In 75 and 85, they put the goddamn fans. There's two of them, but they put them on the power supply side. They didn't put them on the video side. So it still cooks the board regardless.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. And now I have to take the damn thing off the wall, fly a tech over here, because I don't really want to take the thing apart and do it myself, even though I could, but it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah, we have a lot of opinions. I love the harmony, partially for the fact that if something like that ever happens, the sound center is fine, the screen is cheap to replace, and it's whatever LG has at the moment, and it'll work.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's the benefit of not having a true B&O TV, I guess, in the same token, right? Where the biggest problem also is that there's really no parts available for the Avant, as I had learned. So... Brian, good for you. I am smoking currently whatever BC is blowing our way because it is forest fire season and it sucks outside. I did have a cigar 2 days ago when it cleared up, but yeah, there's no smoke in here today. It's disgusting.
Yay, we're getting rid of the cabinet. Congratulations.
Yeah, dude, that's the way to do it. Quite honestly, you gotta do
And
that.
If you want to be on the show next week with your divorce papers and stuff, just tell us. We will definitely have you.
Oh shit. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, I would get rid of that cabinet. Quite honestly, like the amount of sources nowadays you have, it's very negligible. You know, like the only one that you really would have to have beside the TV or behind the TV is your cable box and your freaking Blu-ray player, I guess. Because Apple TV fits inside.
Yeah,
but also you can put the Blu-ray player in the back of the, like with the STB brackets, because like how big are the Blu-ray players nowadays? It's the size of a freaking like a little CD drive, right?
Like an inch and a half thick, maybe by like what, like that, like 8 inches.
He also have a lot of sources. I mean, 2 setup boxes, an Apple TV, a PlayStation. It's a lot of sources. I mean, I have an Xbox One Series X, and an Apple TV. That's it.
The solution is also very, very well. It's not cost inefficient, but you can also look into an HDMI matrix at that point,
Yes,
and then
the Atlona.
yeah, put the
Yeah.
Atlona in, and
Then
then you have the benefit of all those sources being available to all the TVs in the rest of the house.
and you can pull just one cat cable to your TV with
And that's
HD
it.
base, and then you'll have all the sources with one cable in your TV, and then
Yeah.
you can move all the set-top boxes, everything to another room.
He says, last question before my divorce. I'm getting 20% discount on the 5's, but it's a display piece without warranty by my dealer who's had it on for 3 years. Is there much risk without warranty? Not really, but it's odd that they are without warranty.
Just tell your
because
dealer
they ran
that-
him out. They ran the warranty out in 3 years. That's
Yeah, but how do you
basically
do that?
why.
Because then you register to the account of the shop, right?
Yeah, but I think that from what I understand how it works now, as soon as the fucking product is registered on an app, the warranty is triggered.
Not what I asked when I asked other dealers. That's not how it works because they know who's a dealer and who isn't.
I would, if this is a showpiece that has been in the store for 3 years, and they will give you a 20% discount with no warranty, I would say get the fuck out of here. I would tell them to either give you the warranty from the store, or they need to give you a better discount.
Yeah.
If you don't want warranty, or the way I would negotiate that, I wouldn't even talk to him within 40% discount. Seriously. And the reason why, he's basically still selling it to you at his cost. And I think that's a fair deal. And also,
It should be 30%. If you think of it as a car, I mean, it's the same price.
Yeah.
Would you buy a car without warranty? Yes, because the price is that kind of price, or would you not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I said this before, but recently I helped somebody in the UK with serial numbers and that sort of thing for a second-hand 5's from, I think they were 2004 or 5.
so Mark ones.
No, that's just Mark II. Anyway, that standard offer was, I think, £6,000 in pounds with a year warranty on speakers that are that old. Like, it's weird to me that something from a dealership comes without any warranty.
Yes, when I bought my Lab 5's, they are from 2011, I think. I got 1 year warranty on them.
Quite honestly, like, even
And
if,
I bought them 4 years ago or something.
if he's giving you 20% off, no warranty, there's a no deal for me.
Yep.
I would go 30-40% without the warranty, because at least at that point, if something does fail in him, then there's enough offset cost and savings that you could afford the repair without eating too much of a sauerkraut. But I would personally, if I were to sell something like that and I know the speakers are good, why wouldn't you as a dealer say, okay, you know what, I'll give you 2 years warranty on it, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, as I understand it, the dude I helped with 5's, right? The dealer just bought them in from another customer and gave a year warranty.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of normal. Like, and he wasn't even asking top money for it, so it was sort of normal money. But then again, that's a sign of an honest dealer. Like,
if that's the discount that you are provided with, I would pay full price and get a pair with warranty.
a dealer just messaged me. I think they're watching the show. He just gave him 3 months warranty. Seriously, on 20% discount, I think a year is minimum.
1 year warranty with 20% discount. You had those speakers in your shop for 3 years. You have sold a bunch of them.
Not only that, you know exactly what happened to them. Or are you saying you know exactly what happened to them and therefore you're afraid to give a warranty?
Walk away. I would just go into the phone book, dial up another dealer, say that you want a Harmony, a pair of 50s, and what kind of price can they provide you with?
Don't forget the 18s.
3 month warranty
That's a
with
joke, man.
20% discount? No way.
That's a joke.
No way.
I honestly, the way I
20%, you need 1 year warranty.
at that, for me, the biggest red flag is the why not? So there is something that must have been gone wrong with those speakers. Either they were already repaired once or something blown in them that they don't want to do this, because I don't understand why would you.
I don't
Not.
I don't think so, Willie.
You could let's stay charitable and say they are cheap bastards, which is a charitable thing. Because then, as the dealer, you think to yourself, I get maximum amount of money. Most likely, it's not going to go wrong in 3 months, and then it's not my problem. I mean, that's still a weird thought to me, especially when you're buying a lot. Because
Quite honestly,
if it
though,
is actually, like I said, if it is the fucking showpiece, you know what's been going on with those things. Like, you've had them for their lifetime.
There is nothing.
put it this
wrong
way:
with
when we
They
had
would-
lap 5's and we were selling, like, store model stuff, we would always put warranty. And quite honestly, we would rotate the product. Yes, we did had 5's at one point and were in the shop for about 4 years, but when we sold them, they still got 3-year warranty on them. And I know that those speakers, what the fuck happened? I've blown them myself, for Christ's sake. And we've gotten them fixed, but the guy got, I think it was only like 15 or not. I don't think it was even 20% discount, but it was a full warranty on the speakers. And we've never seen them since, because obviously, like, they and as a dealer, quite honestly, for a fact that if they haven't fucked up in the first year, they're not gonna go in next 5 to 10 years. Like, that's just how B&O is. Like, there's either a problem immediately or it develops over a very extraneous long period of time. And with 50s and 90s per se, I don't see anything really failing in them, because those speakers are built like a tank.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. I just looked it up here. I bought my 5's the 22nd of November 2018, and I got 12-month warranty on him. So
If
you need
the
you
dealer
need
says,
to get
yeah.
12 months.
So Jumir says the dealer says he gets the same warranty as everybody else. Not true. He gets a longer warranty as a dealer. Plus, he doesn't pay the full whack for repairs ever.
Walk away.
On his display piece as the customer, and they can and that they can't take the risk on the same discount. He says he can take away 20% discount and then extend the warranty to cover his risk. Nonsense. He's still making money on the bloody things.
You need to walk away. Find a new dealer.
If, to put it this way, if he's had them for 3 years, bought as the shop, they're written down by 50% of what he paid for them already. At 20% discount, he still makes back.
At least.
Yes.
They have been there for 3 years.
At 20% discount, he still makes slightly over what he initially paid for them. How the bloody hell can he not cover that risk? This is nonsense.
Yeah, that's I was born in the dark, but it wasn't last night. So I'd fucking walk away from that, because to me that's not a good deal.
Get 28 in that case. Say fuck you. I'm getting 28 brand new,
and buy them at another dealer.
Yeah.
I find that the 3 years of having them in the shop, yes, they were turned on. I'm guaranteeing you they were turned on every day, because every day they were. They might not have been slammed every day, but they were definitely turned on. Well, I guess for the last year, probably not much of activity was going on, but because everything was locked the fuck down, so they might not have as much hours on them, but they definitely have been plugged in the entire time. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all. I know how much the margin is on those things, and he's still making money off you without warranty. That's fucking insulting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, from what you have said in the chat, I would just get another dealer. I mean,
there's plenty of other dealers that will help you out.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in Europe, there's plenty of other dealers.
And are you buying a Harmony?
Yes.
And the 50s and 18s as back at the same time?
Yes, and an A9 and a level and BSM 2.
Get another dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you roll that shopping list to another dealer, then I'm sure they're gonna work with you and warranty as well.
Yeah, a 3-year warranty at that.
Yeah, that this is silly, man. Like, yeah, 3 years. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. You give me 40% discount on those speakers because then you break even with your cost,
Those
and then I'll take
speakers,
them.
as Willie said, has been turned on every freaking day, and every time they have to vacuum the shop, those speakers has to play up the whole shop. Nothing's wrong with it at all because the speakers are good. They can handle it, and everything is probably fine. But I would still not do it without the warranty. Probably not gonna need the warranty anyways. But I mean, this is just a shit show from the dealer.
Brian starting some shit in the chat.
This sort of trolling I'll allow. It's not malicious.
I love it.
It's
That's
just
funny.
cope from Brian.
Yeah, fuck. Like if I had a client that rolled up to
Yeah,
me with
what
that
Brendan
shopping
says,
list,
B&O warranty starts of day sale to owner. Unless the shop's the owner, the warranty hasn't started ticking.
Exactly.
yes.
So he's full of shit.
Yeah, this isn't Crestron where they run the warranty from the production date when they fucking even hadn't shipped it to you yet. Like that's it's nonsense. I don't. I honestly like I don't want to be bashing the dealer and whatever, but I would have walked away from this deal because it's just it's silly. It's not that it's silly. I find it a little shady in my opinion because if the dealer really, if you have so much that you're buying off the guy, then the guy he's out there to get the fucking money out of you. It's not there to support your shit completely. First of all, if I was your salesman, I would have told you right away, throw that fucking cabinet out the goddamn window. I'll pay for the window.
He would have said it like that as well. He would have made you feel dumb and you go home and like, God damn it,
And
I
then you
hate
would
him."
do it, and
But
we
he's
would do it,
right.
and we would do a system that actually works, and you would pay nowhere near as much as he would pay with the dealer, because I just don't believe in full price in B&O. Not that I'm saying that you have to drop the pants down to the ankles, but if you're doing a deal like this, man, give me a fucking break. You would at least, I would give you a free level. I wouldn't even. That's not even billable
Or
product.
a Lucci version of the...
some
The
fucking.
level. It's
God
not even
damn
here
you.
yet.
So
To be fair, I see people asking who is this dealer. I don't want to dox specific dealers because we're not in the business of destroying B&O. Like
No.
if they ever figure out who it is, fucking learn from this. Be better.
Yeah.
And understand we're being kind by not ruining you. Because we don't
well,
want to
I'm
ruin
not
you.
into
We
shit
want you to
smearing
be
people, but
better.
Still.
B&O dealers are special. And I want them to be special to most people. Honestly.
But
Yeah.
you don't need to be stupid special.
Yeah, that's the kind
That's a
of wrong
different
special.
but that's also
That's
special.
a special.
Yeah, I've said my piece. Honestly, that's what I would do.
I would walk
and-
away, find a new dealer.
I'd
Yeah,
walk
or
away.
get bloody 28s from somewhere
No.
else.
No,
Get 28s from somewhere else.
Yes, but if this is the deal, I would just... I
Oh,
would,
sorry.
Yeah, from start, I would find a new dealer because they're not
Yeah.
even worth it. Find a new one.
Unless you're stranded somewhere where there is no other dealer and you're basically, are held by the balls. But nobody really is. Cause
Honestly, last year I saw a set of 50s here for sale second hand. They were 2 years old, so meaning they had a year factory warranty still, and I think they sold for €18,000.
Yeah.
That is cheaper than what that dealer is offering you by a long shot. That's like half.
Yeah.
So
It's let's end it here. It's get a new dealer.
Yes. Or give him one last chance, and if he still is an asshole,
let's give
then
him a hand for the cabinet. So you're on its way.
congrats. That's awesome.
We support you.
That. We got your back, brother. But well, if the dealer's watching, I hope you step inside your conscience a little bit and think about what deal you're doing. And bad word always carries further than the good praise does. So also be mindful of that.
yeah, that's kind of why I don't want to dox anybody. Like, unless it's like people come to us and it's a repetitive thing for a dealer being consistently shit.
Then we're gonna bring it up.
Yes.
But I don't agree with slamming people, but the truth needs to be spoken regardless.
I mean, I've seen I've seen somebody that got an eclipse and the cables were in the wall, and there used to be a BV10 there, and they had instead of like pulling new wires, they had put an extension piece from that to RJ45, and then another extension piece on where the cable came out to the 50s.
No.
And the fucking O covers were on the front.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
if
my
you
Lord.
did this, you know who you are. And this was a fucking disaster. Like...
Was that a professional installer?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
This was a B&O dealership, officially sanctioned and everything.
And yet here I am trying to become a certified installer, and the B&O won't even answer my calls in North America. Can you fucking believe that?
Yeah, I've never seen a shit show of wiring like that, ever. Like, I can send you the pictures later. Like, you'd be going like, oh, you were underselling this. Like, it was bad.
Wow.
It's really, really bad. Like, you know...
I've seen my share of crazy, and it's insane. It is absolutely insane what people get away with it.
Yeah, by the way, on the download, Geomir, you can work with... You're not supposed to, but you can technically work with dealers from other continents and stuff.
Yeah.
There is contact information to my dealer. Henrik knows dealers. Write him a message, say, hey, can I ask
he's not the only shop, man. That's where it's at.
And international shipping isn't the end of the world anymore. And especially now with 18s, 50s, you name it, it works worldwide because the power supplies are finally universal.
Yeah, don't buy it from Canada or US because you're going to pay 6 times more.
Yeah, but
it's coming with warranty.
Yes, at least you have a warranty.
So, yeah, I just... Because to me, like, that's also a suspicion of later support, right? Like, it's just going to be like, well, you know, we bought those used, and then, you know, this and that, and if something, and then it's just humana hamana and whatever.
Or if you're feeling generous, give John a call in the UK. He'll sort you out.
Don's trying to spice it up with the Control 4. No, don't
by the way,
shit with Control 4.
If you pay full price, maybe you can say, I'll pay full price if you make John come to my house and install it all. That way John must get a passport because he fucking doesn't have one.
Okay, also...
And then he can finally go to Denmark and come here.
Okay, here's another comment. I was told by my dealer, if you buy from another country, then they won't service it or warranty in the home city. Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit on a stick. I've had a number of people that moved from continents that came when they worked in oil industry, and they came from UK, they moved to Canada or Australia, they came in here with their product. We service their gear, we install the gear because we're a B&O dealer. That guy is just...
To put it this
is just getting worse and worse, man. Like, I'd fucking moonwalk away because I preserve my style doing it from him. I would honestly, like, that's not the person that you want to go with. Because so what? Like, if I move to fucking Europe now, all of my product is fucked because I can't service my 90s. I have to fly them back to US. That's just fucking out to lunch, man. There is no way.
I understand if you do that and you go to him, he may say no. Then you call the B&O helpline, and the B&O helpline will call him and say, do that.
Yeah.
Because it's still under warranty, and the warranty is international.
I would definitely walk away from this deal. He's like...
Now he's pissing me off. Like, that's
I would
bullshit.
really much like to know what the dealer is, actually. Do you know that, Mikey?
Yeah.
Can you give me that information?
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
Oh, we can let B&O HQ know. I care.
Mean, this is just...
It seems like they need to do their training again, quite honestly.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what this guy is writing at the moment. if this is true, they need to, lock those suckers down, because they're gonna destroy it for everybody else.
Yeah, this is nonsense. Honestly, I wouldn't even put up with that shit.
No,
I wouldn't put up with it.
We can both write a kind letter to HQ.
Yeah, but
do you
Mike
know this is going on with
as Mike is writing here? No wonder why people are scared of Bang & Olufsen shops. I mean, we have one shop in Copenhagen, which was the most crazy shop ever. They didn't know anything about their stuff. They didn't know how to sell it. They were just like clothing salespeople, like I am. But I mean, that was what they did, and. Right now, they closed the shop, and Bang & Olufsen is actually taking over it at the moment. So, because it's just crazy, they destroy it for so many people.
Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah, you know what? When this guy is a fucking ball of yarn, that it just start to unravel to just more and more nonsense. Like this is, dude. There are so many red flags. They don't even fit on one fucking post. I just walk away. Honestly. From him, walk away. That's not a person that I would do any fucking business with.
Nope.
At all. I wouldn't have him install my existing gear, let alone the fact that I would give him money for new. And I'm sorry to say that. And like, if you're watching this, you should definitely think about your actions and how you carry yourself in the business in this particular way. Because this is insulting, in my opinion. Like, you know, he's basically banking on the fact that you don't know shit.
Yes.
And
also that you're too scared to walk away.
And
yes.
and he's gonna scare you with, well, we're not gonna support it. Go fuck yourself and your support, man. I'll buy it from somebody else. And you know what? If somebody bought this much money worth, they would support you from another town. They wouldn't. I would like those people to support me from another town. I wouldn't piss
support
on
you
this
from
dealer
another
completely.
continent,
For God's
even.
sakes. Fuck, I'll fly out and install it for you, for God's sakes.
Well, you're not allowed
serious.
to leave yet. I have to wait a few
Willie
months.
is allowed to move, Willie can contact either Mikey or my dealer. He will get a good deal. He will fly out and set it up for you.
Yeah. Like, quite
you will
honestly,
get a better price.
I bet you other dealers in, maybe not your vicinity, but the next dealer over, so to say, to keep it somewhat vague, they'll send somebody over, even if it is a long-ass way.
So where does he live?
That'll give away the whole thing. I kind of don't... like I said, I'm being kind here. So, dealer dude, if you're listening, go take care of Geomir.
Properly.
Yeah, because this is nonsense. Like, this isn't how B&O is supposed to operate at all. And we've, between us, have, like, what, 3 decades of experience with B&O? If not more?
So there's only one dealer at his place. Is that?
I think so. I don't fully remember, but near enough, yes.
Okay.
And so,
All right.
if this shit keeps on continuing, and if you know any other of his other customers that say the same nonsense, then we'll happily put them on blast, or at least let HQ know, because this is bullshit.
Yes.
And I don't
often
get angry. I'm usually the sort of middle of the road person, but this is nonsense.
Yeah, no, this is insulting.
Yeah, I don't want to name him. I don't want to make it unfair. That's what I'm saying. But it's making it awful hard to do that. Like, help yourself by being better, dealer. You know you are.
Let's. I'm out.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
I'm getting fucking angry as well.
I'm very pissed
what
off
the
about
fuck?
this.
I mean, how can you treat people like this? I mean, yeah. Let us know how it goes, and
yeah, I'll be in touch with
otherwise
him.
we would find a dealer, and we will fly Willie out when he's COVID tested.
That's right.
And just have a bottle of bourbon ready.
Yeah, Don, thank you very much for your kind donations as always. Geomir will try and help sort you out because this is bullshit and it makes me angry and I don't want to be angry and it's annoying. Thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please smash the like button. Links to all our stuff is down below. Also to Henrik and Willy. Willy still doesn't have a YouTube, but whatever.
I made a website.
Yay!
Look at me.
Right on.
I'll put it
BeoCalgary.com, baby.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description down below. By the way, last quick thing. If you're an Aussie and you're looking for technical repairs and stuff because you're totally fucked down there, go look at our friend Eric. He's fucking amazing at fixing shit.
He's awesome.
And yeah, a little shout out. And thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next week. Tomorrow on Twitch for Willy and I. And yeah, roll the outro. Bye, everybody.
Ah.